Welcome to the Make Me Whole podcast. I'm your host, Josette Rosado, and it's time to talk getting past what's difficult, trusting our own abilities to do more, and keeping it that way. Not too long ago, I had a dream that myself and 30 other people joined together in a group to go on a cruise. I'm going to guess it was a Disney cruise because I remember seeing yellow, white, black, and red. Anyway, the reason there were 30 people was so that we could get on this deal of a special boarding, but we had to wait for everyone to get there. I thought, wow, this is pretty great. We can go on cruises and be in these huge groups of people. I found myself both relieved and surprised. We finally get to the gate, get checked in, and the staff was so nice and so welcoming. And then one stops me and says, "You have to come in with a mask." I was startled. A mask? I don't even think I packed one, I said, and looked around to my companions, and no one had one. At that moment, all I could think was, is this still happening? COVID. Oh, you beast. You came into our lives, sat down, made yourself a plate of food, and put your feet up on the sofa, and turned our worlds upside down. Something I learned from dealing with the pandemic is that I have no choice but to accept change. What was life before is not the same, and what we think we should plan for, we shouldn't. That's to say, we thought we had this all figured out, but we really don't. There's always something new that can come our way. I've witnessed people deal with their own pandemic experiences, and it has me both hopeful and horrified. Not everyone has managed it in a good way. And I think there's something interesting to be seen and understood from what we've all been through. Consider this. We have all been traumatized. Let me say that again. We have all been traumatized. It doesn't matter if you're a therapist or a client, a doctor or a patient, a student, a teacher, you name it. This is one of the few times in our lives that we can say we have shared equal pain and uncertainty and understood it as a full community. Even as a Gen Xer, I can say I've been through some shit, but COVID has them all beat. I know it's left so many people wondering if they're ever going to be able to recover. On the mental health side, the number of people who have experienced anxiety has risen 30% since 2019. 30%. So if you feel like you're the only one overthinking or just scared to make your next move, understand that you are not alone. Okay, yeah, we all got screwed up as a result of the COVID pandemic, and more people are in therapy, and we all have our own thoughts about what we can and cannot or will and will not trust. But there's something I really feel is important to mention when it comes to how we handle things. We are going to have to resolve ourselves to prepare to be inconvenienced and gain tools so we can deal with it. This isn't a new concept. It isn't something groundbreaking. But when things shut down, when people weren't able to fall into their regular routine, when systems broke down, so did our ability to recognize that we've not only been through this before, but we might as well accept that it could happen again. And guess what? We moved on. We moved forward. Let me give you a really good example. My first experience ever in life with computers included a floppy disk that was the size of a piece of sliced bread. You had to be careful and make sure you loaded it just right in order to have it save whatever you typed on the screen. Fast all the way forward, March 2020. And until this point, I just minded my business, saw my clients, kept them moving. All of a sudden, we've got to shut down. No, my clients cannot come into the office. No, I can't just close my office and tell people to wait it out. This was a moment. This was the moment that my clients needed to hear from me most. They needed to talk about what was going on. They needed to figure out how the hell they were going to get through it. So I had to figure out how to do video sessions, how to get consents to my client, actually have them sign it in 2 languages. And all the while, I don't have a good relationship with technology. We were not friends. But after several hours on the phone with customer service companies and a pretty significant ugly cry breakdown while on the phone with Adobe Acrobat, technology and I called a truce. Happy ending, right? Come on. I promise you, I still have my struggles, and some of them worthy of lots of cursing. But I've made an intentional commitment to not avoid learning something new, especially if in the long run it's going to benefit me or my business. What about what we went through regarding being separated from family and friends? I was already hundreds of miles away from New York. Here in South Carolina, I couldn't even hug my favorite cousin or spend time with my greatest friends and share all those moments of laughter and fun. In the months leading up to the pandemic and lockdown, I was able to spend some time and see some of the most amazing people in my life. There were some holidays spent together and birthday celebrations that will actually go down in the books as epic. But then suddenly everyone was so far away and none of us knew who was going to make it or who we'd never see again. So instead of thinking about where I couldn't be, who I was separated from, I took it as an opportunity to step up and make things better. I got to spend time with my kids. They did school at home. I worked. We got to have most of our meals together. We brought back family board game night. We watched movies together, cooked together. Most importantly, we made sure to acknowledge one another so that no one ever felt alone. Now, was it easy? Oh, hell no, it wasn't easy. But we made it work because we knew we had to meet the challenge to be intentional about appreciating that we had a safe place to live. We had each other. And despite how hard it might have seemed, we were going to get through it. Am I simplifying the COVID pandemic? Let's be clear, I definitely am not. I have shared tears and given condolences and prayed with lots of people who experienced their own private hell while they lost their loved ones, their own health, their jobs, and lives as they knew them. My point here is to emphasize how if you're listening right now, you're on the other side of this. You're breathing, you're experiencing life, and have the opportunity to improve the quality of that life. If you're here, you have a desire to reach your potential and reignite that fire inside of you and face the obstacles and the challenges head on. And since we have this shared experience, this shared trauma, I can't say it enough. We need to move forward, support one another, guide others, so we can continue to fight what it seemed COVID intended to take from us. I know you agree. All right, so what's it going to be? Are you going to make the goal to live and do it intentionally? Are you going to fear what you don't know? COVID gave us the reminder that tomorrow is not promised. But honestly, today can be amazing. think about what you could achieve if you just gave yourself the chance. This episode is dedicated to my godfather and uncle, Adalberto Mejias, who lost his fight with COVID in April 2020. I know you're listening and are proud of me, and I miss you very much. Yes, here's to another episode in the books. Thank you all for joining me today. The outpouring of support and love has been incredible. Don't forget to subscribe and tell everyone you know to do the same. Remember, let's complain less, do more, and make sure we are exercising all of our strength and power. This is Josette Rosado, and this is Make Me Whole.